Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm calling this one the best of both worlds workout because we're gonna do half of the workout as traditional mat Pilates, no equipment required. Then we're gonna do the second half of the workout as traditional strength training. So you're getting the best of both worlds separately in two different blocks of this workout. The only equipment that you'll need today is a medium to medium heavy dumbbell or kettlebell. Mine is 17 pounds, but I would recommend anything between, I would say 12 to 15 pounds should be good for this. So let's get started down on our back with a nice warm up here. I want you to bring your knees in towards your chest. And we're just gonna start simply with some hip circles with those knees. So pressing your knees in towards your chest, just to wake up our hip joints. We'll do a few in one direction. And then let's switch directions and go the other way around, pulling those knees wide, and bringing it in, just getting some motion into our joints. From here, I want you to take your left leg and place it on top. So the back or your hamstring will touch the quad of your right leg. From here, I want you to go out wide with your arms like a cactus, and we're gonna take our knees to our right side. Feel that release, feel that stretch through your back. And let's bring it back to center. Let's do two more. Pulling that leg over, feeling that stretch through your low back. Anchoring down through the back of your arms here. And now let's switch. Bring your right in front. Same thing, we go down and around. And shift your knees to one side. And let's plant our feet down on the floor. Let's do a couple quick bridges here. Plant through your heels. I want you to hip thrust up to the sky. And then I want you to roll down through the top of your spine. So hip thrust up with a flat back, and then we're gonna articulate down one vertebra at a time until that tailbone reaches last. Hip thrust up, slowly lower down, up and down. Let's do three more here. Really think about focusing on your spinal mobility while we do this. So you're rolling it down, and relax it down. We're gonna come all the way flat, arms long by your side, back of your legs pressed into your mat. From here, I want you to raise your arms up to the sky. Let's do a roll up. Let's nod through our chin, and let's roll ourselves up, creating a really big curve through our spine as we reach, keeping our belly pulled in. And then back to our articulation we just practiced with that bridge. I want you to slowly roll yourself down here. We're gonna do 5 of these. Slow and controlled, no plopping down. Just as slow as on the way up as on the way down. Reach, really creating that C curve. Reach for your toes and lower yourself down. If anybody's struggling with your roll up, you can press your feet against a flat surface like your wall, and that will help you, or you can bend your knees here. That will also help you here. So 2 more together. Nod through your chin, roll up. And roll it back down really slow. Keeping your core active the entire time. Last one, best one. Let's reach it up, nod through your chin, roll, 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 reach forward. I made it to my toes that time, and then slowly lower yourself back, down. Nice and slow. Let's get some rotation in for our warm up here. I want you to bring your feet a little bit wider than hips width. We're gonna do a saw. Flex your feet up to the sky. I want you to reach your left hand for your right toes, reach your right hand back. Let's twist from your upper back and come back in, and let's switch sides. Same thing, keeping your back flat to start. You exhale, reach, twist. I'm much tighter on one side than the other. You may feel the same way. Come up, back up all the way. Let's do 4 more each side. Reach for those toes. And come up. Really try to gaze at that hand in the back. So as that hand goes back, you look back, you twist, you reach your head far forward. twist, and restack. Okay, let's come with our feet planted here. And I just want you to grab behind your hamstrings. Let's practice that big C curve and then straightening out our spine. And I want you to activate your core as you straighten out your spine. So we're here, seated up tall on our sit bones, hands behind. I want you to roll yourself back, really tuck, tuck, tuck. And then I want you to flatten out, bring your chest forward. 6 more. Reach it back. Straighten it out. Exhale as we pull everything back. Inhale as we come back to seated. Right on top of those sit bones. And you should feel your abs pretty active here as you do this. Practicing tucking that pelvis under as you sink yourself back. Two more. Last one. And straighten it out. Great job. From here, let's take our fingertips, point them towards our glutes. I want you to plant through your feet, hip thrust up to the sky, get a nice stretch through your shoulders, and tap your glutes back down. Reach, press, rooting through your feet. Fingertips stay pointed forward towards your heels. Gaze up to the sky before we lower it down. We have 6 more here. Exhale, reach. Really squeeze through your glutes. Don't rush through this one. Lengthen from your kneecaps to your shoulders, making sure those ribs aren't popping up. Two more. You may feel this through your hamstrings as well. Last one. And lower it down. And then come back to seated and relax. Shake out those shoulders. We're gonna do one of my favorite core moves that I think is very underrated. Not enough people do it. I think because it looks a little silly. So we're gonna do rolling like a ball. So what I want you to do, rolling like a ball, if you haven't done it before, is all about core control. It's a little bit about being playful with Pilates as well, because there is some fun momentum action going. So what I want you to do is grab outside of your ankles here. Find your biceps to the outsides of your thighs near your knees. I want you to create a really round shape. That round shape, remember, our warm-ups are always purposeful. That round shape we just practiced. So that round, pulling your belly in. And from here, you're gonna tip back. Let your toes come off the mat. Find a little momentum, come back, find your balance on your tailbone. Let's do 6 more of those. Roll yourself back. Find that balance on your tailbone. Last 5. Keeping that round shape, keeping your belly pulled in. Last 3. Balance. Use that core control. 2. Stay in that ball shape. That will help you roll. Let's do one more for good measure. Sink it back and relax it down. Great job. So let's come to our back and spice things up a little. Let's start with a single leg stretch. I want you to find a ab curl. So we're gonna lift our head and chest up, clearing the top of our shoulder blades off of the mat. Let's keep our right leg out straight. We're bringing our left knee in towards our nose. Right hand comes inside your knee. Left hand comes to your ankle. Hold here, float that right leg off. And switch. Same thing, left hand inside of your knee. Right hand outside of your right ankle. And switch, switch, and switch. We're gonna do 10 more each side. That's 10. Try to pick up the pace, really get that body warm. Really press that knee in towards your nose. 4. Last 3. Excuse my breathing, but it's to remind you that that's important. 2. And 1. Let's bring both of those legs up to the sky. From here, you're gonna take your hands, go behind your left hamstring, right leg goes straight. I have sciatica, so I cannot get my leg all the way straight right now, but Get that leg as straight as you can, point your toes up to the sky. Find that ab curl again. So hands like a book behind your hamstring, and we switch, switch, and switch. 10 each side. Really get a nice hamstring stretch as you pull that knee towards your nose. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, take a second. Prepare yourself because up next we got 100. A good old classical 100. So let's come down to our back. I'll give you a few options for the 100. You can keep your feet planted if you feel like your abs are really challenged already and you want a little bit of a modification. Feet planted, legs in tabletop, legs straight. The lower you get your legs, the more challenging this will be. I won't make you do the full 100, but let's get some really nice vigorous pumps with those hands. So the key for breathing with the 100, I'm gonna tell you now because breathing is so critical for it. I can't talk and breathe at the same time. In for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And arms are really vigorous here. So let's catch our breath. Prepare yourself, decide which of those positions you want for your feet, where you want to feel that challenge. I'll tell you when to stop. We're gonna find that curl. We're gonna bring our legs wherever we want to keep them. Curl that head, neck, and chest. Belly stays pulled together, so sunken down. We're not doming through our stomach. And let's pump. Almost there. Lift a little higher. And break. Whew, that was about 50. Pretty good for our warm up. So we'll stay down on our back, but I want you to really focus on your lower abdominals for this one. We'll give our neck a bit of a break so your head can stay down on your mat. You are going to take your knees from a tabletop position, push your knees slightly away from your hips so you already start to feel that challenge. We're gonna brace our core. I want you to take your right toes down to the ground. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, lower. We're gonna do 15 on each side. Really slow and controlled as we tap it down. Breathe through it, syncing that movement with our breath. Really focus on stabilizing through your spine here. So the shape of your back on that mat should not change, especially as those toes go down. If you need to, modification is for those toes to not go as low as you're bringing them. But if you can, you're trying to push yourself and get those toes all the way down for a tap. Last 5 here. Core stays in really tight. Don't even let that spine move a millimeter. So you don't have to imprint into your mat. I want you to maintain neutral. Last one. Tap it down and back. Perfect. Let's extend that left leg long. Your right leg I want up to the sky. So point your toes up to the ceiling. Bring this right foot across your midline. We're gonna trace a circle, but really focus on the control of your core. You're bringing that ankle back up to starting position. We have 5 in each direction. So we're starting with that right leg. You're gonna swing that right leg right over your left. Circle it around and try not to make the circle huge so that that foot's coming all the way down to the ground. You're keeping it lifted here and you're just tracing a big circle on the ceiling, moving with all the control that you can. So we come across, bring it back. Last 2 and 1. Let's reverse. Exhale, inhale. So you're using your breath at different parts of the circle. Half the circle's an inhale, half the circle's an exhale. Really try to press down, so anchoring down with that left leg. 3, 2, and 1. Using that core to help you control that movement as you shape your circle here. So now we anchor our right leg down and we point our left toes. Again, get that left leg as straight as you can. Mine is not gonna get that straight right now. Point your toes in, we come across our midline and we find that circle shape. No momentum here. And let's reverse. And one, great job. We have some wrist action coming up next, so I really want you to roll out those wrists in either direction, get some movement into our joints. Once you're ready, you are going to meet me in a side plank on your right side. Your right hand is on the mat, right hand is right underneath your right shoulder. You're gonna take your right foot, step it out straight, left foot comes straight behind, so your feet are staggered. From here, reach your left hand up to the sky. We're gonna bend our knees in, and we're gonna press it out, reach. Try to straighten your legs each time. Last two. Last one, hold here, little hip lifts for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's thread the needle, bring it down. We get 10 of these. Trying to rotate through that upper spine. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. And let's flip around and do our left side. So same thing on our left side. I want you to find that placement. Shake out those wrists again if you need to. We're gonna find that placement on our left hand. We're going to step our left foot forward and our right leg goes behind. We start from here, we bend, and we press it over. Five, last, whoop, 4, 3, 2, little hip lifts, and 1, reach it over, and we lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's find that thread. Open it up. 5, shaking and quaking, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Whew. Now it's time to grab our props. So grab your either dumbbell or kettlebell. We're actually gonna continue with obliques, but using a little bit of weight here. So I want you to start on your right knee. Your left foot's gonna come out to the side. What we're gonna do here, bring your left fingertips behind your ears. Kettlebell or dumbbell is at your right thigh in your right hand. From here, keeping your hips square, keeping your spine long, I want you to give a nice lateral bend. We come down, we tap that dumbbell down, we squeeze through our oblique, bring it back up. So we're tapping it down here, squeezing to bring it up. If at any point the kettlebell or dumbbell feels too heavy, feel free to drop it and just keep it with body weight. Everything we do today can be done with body weight. Last 2. And 1. Let's hold that dumbbell at our chest or that kettlebell at our chest. Keeping your leg long, I want you to rotate, twist. Come back to center. So you're rotating down towards the floor, keeping your hips forward. Last 5. Slow return back. And 1, great job. Let's do the same series on the other side. So we find our left knee, and if your mat feels too thin here and you're feeling some discomfort in your knee, just go ahead and fold that mat under to give it a little bit more thickness. So now dumbbell or kettlebell is in your left hand. Right leg is out. Fingertips behind your ears. We tap it down. We squeeze to bring it up. Last 3, we're gonna hold it at our chest. 2, and 1. Let's hold it at our chest here. Let's go for those rotations. Hips stay pointed forward. We lean it over, we twist. Back to center. Remember that slow return. Last 4. Last 3. 2. And 1. Great job. Next up, we're coming to both of our knees here. I'm going to flip to the side so you can see what my spine is doing through this movement because it's really important. Let's curl our toes under, find a hover. So you're not fully on your heels unless you need to modify. Find a hover off of your heels. You're going to grab, get a really good grip on that dumbbell or kettlebell. We're going to do around the world. Now, the reason I mention your spine is I want you to make sure that you're not creating this big arch as you go back and rounding. You're trying to stabilize your spine as much as you can here. So your focus is, of course, that brace core, paying attention to what your pelvis is doing throughout the motion. So let's grab that, and we'll find 10 in each direction. So pick a direction for your circle, squeeze to your glutes, bring it around. Really keep that core pulled in. Like if someone were to punch you in your stomach here, it's rock solid. I have 2 more in this direction. And let's reverse, other way around. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Great work. Last thing we'll do here, we're gonna go back to a plank position. So hopefully those wrists are feeling nice and rested. Still using our dumbbell or kettlebell. So you're gonna place it right about the middle of where your hands are for your plank. What I want you to do is meet me in either a full plank with both feet out or down on your knees. Another great way to modify is taking your feet wider. That will give you a little bit more stability in your plank. What I want you to do is we're gonna drag this weight across with one hand, drag it across with the other. Drag and pull while we're holding our plank. When you're ready, meet me in that high plank position or that modified plank position. Corkscrew your hands into that mat, so screwing so that your shoulders twist down into the ground, your elbows face backwards. We're gonna find that plank. We're gonna do 12 passes here. Side to side, hand to hand. Really focus on not wiggling through your hips as you pass. Let's do it, we got this. Hold your plank, reach, pull. That's 1. 1 and done. Replacing your hand each time. Dragging it across. I'm halfway done. How about you guys? I have 5 more. Pass, pass. Hips stay still. Last 3. 3. And 1. Great job. Take a second and let's move on to lower body. Before we come to standing for our lower body, let's get some weighted bridges in. So we did some warm-up bridges, so our body should be primed and ready for these. You're gonna take the dumbbell or kettlebell to your hips here, hold it in place with your hands, root through your heels. Let's hip thrust up, flat back, lower it down. Try not to connect fully with your mat at the bottom. So stay in a hover, make this one a little bit more challenging than our warm-up was. Last 5, last 4, we have 3, 2, and 1. Let's hold tight, little pulse, down halfway, up halfway. Give me 20 tiny pulses. Root through those heels. Last 10, really squeeze. 7, 6, little higher, little tighter. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Not quite done yet, but give yourself a little mini break. We're gonna do the same thing, but now on our toes. So I want you to peel those heels up. We're gonna hip thrust up to the sky while keeping our heels high. Up and down. You should be able to get your hips a little bit higher without those heels rooted down. So keep that lift like you have a high pair of high heels on. That's 4. We have 3. For 2. We hold high for those pulses. Last one, 20 pulses, up and down. Last 10. You got it a little higher. Push a little deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a second. Lower yourself down. So let's come all the way up to standing, grab your kettlebell or dumbbell. We're gonna start with some push presses. So essentially we're gonna do a little baby squat with our knees, and then I want you to press above your head. Let's do 20 of those together. You can speed it up to get your heart rate up a little bit more. Just make sure you're keeping it calm and controlled. So plant through your feet about hips width apart. Find a soft bend through your knees. Core brace. I want you to exhale, reach that weight above. Really try to lengthen through your arms at the top. It's not quite a squat, just a little soft bend to give you that power. Last 10. Last 5 for me. Reach it up. 3, 2, and 1. Great job. We're gonna go for sumo squats from here. So I want you to find a nice wide stance with your feet. Toes point out a little bit wider than, say, 10 and 2 on a clock. So twist, open up your knees here. Dumbbell starts down at the ground so we can get really low and see what this squat feels like. So I want you to find that dumbbell or kettlebell, press through your heels, come all the way up. Give me a row at the top. Perfect. Lower it down. Trying to tap that weight down if it's a kettlebell, if it's dumbbell, get as low as you can. 6 more. Last 3, 2, and 1. Great job. We have a little B stance RDL variation up next. In case you don't know what that looks like, I want you to plant through your left heel. So your left foot is firmly planted. Your right heel is gonna be lifted. So you're just on the ball of your right foot. You're gonna find a flat back here. I want you to hinge forward, and you're gonna hip thrust, bring that dumbbell up as you squeeze your glutes. So heel stays lifted, and feet are a bit staggered. So my front foot and my back foot aren't right next to each other. Squeeze. You may feel some shakes come as you come up really slow. No momentum. Last 10 here, lower it down, really get that stretch to your glute. So the stretch here is what we're looking for. Press through that left heel, come all the way up. Almost through. We'll switch legs. Actually, we're not going to switch legs just yet. We'll do one other move, then we'll switch. And 1, perfect. Now from here, I want you to keep your left foot planted. We're gonna step our right foot back, and we're gonna find a 90-90 with both of our knees. So I want your left foot to have a bend, or your left leg to have a bend, and your right leg to have a bend, and I'm gonna switch to this side so you can see me. Left foot forward, right foot behind. Both knees have a bend. Square off your hips forward here. We're gonna hold, and I just want you to row. Pulling that dumbbell up, keeping everything really still, except the motion of the bend to your elbow as you pull it back. Last 2, and 1. We hold it low, hold that elbow back, little pulse for 20. Last 10. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stand it up, shake it out. Whew. Shake that leg out and let's switch sides. So now we're planting through our right foot. Right foot planted, left heel lifted. We have a staggering to our feet. We have our left heel off the ground and we hinge, reaching that dumbbell down and come all the way up. Feet are a little bit too wide here. So you want them narrow, not in a full back lunge. We'll really focus on that stretch to the right side as we come up and down. Back stays really flat. And you know what that means? That means your core is active to help you make sure you're not really rounding and relaxing through your core as you go down. Last 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Let's find 90-90. Right foot forward, left knee behind or left leg behind. Feet are wider for this. We find the bend and we go for our row while we hold isometric holds with our lower body, focusing on the pull back. It's almost like, I'm such a visual person. When I do things like this, I'm like, it's like you're pulling a lawnmower to start it. I don't think I've ever driven a lawnmower. I don't know why that comes to mind. But you know, like the pulling action, that's what you're going for without lifting your shoulder up. Last 5 here. See if you can get a little lower with those knees. 2, and 1. We hold that arm back. We do those 20. Chest lifted. Last 10. You got it. See if you can get a little lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. I'm really feeling that one. We made it to the final push. We're gonna do one last lower body lateral move just to get our heart rate up a little bit more. So what I want you to do is lean into your left side. We're gonna press off and come back down to that low lunge. Meet me here when you're ready. We have 15 on each side. So lean it down, reach that leg out, nice point to your toes. Last 10. 8, perfect. Try to land softly each time. Last one. And let's switch sides. Same thing, other side. So now we're launching off of our right foot. So we're leaning into our right side. We're finding that lift. Lean and lift. Try to pick up the pace a little bit. We are done after this. Last 10. Really sit those hips back. Don't forget about that soft landing. And break. Great work. Thanks for joining me for today's workout. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I love teaching it. Leave some comments if you have any feedback, requests. I look forward to doing these for you guys each and every week.